Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene Flash Update. Today's date, January 7, 2026, time in Texas, about 10 a.m. Within the past hour, the U.S. military has seized a Russian flagged ship. Let's get to it. In my previous video, I laid out all the information about 16 ships running, sanctioned oil tankers running the U.S. military President Trump embargo in the Caribbean. And one of these ships, Bella, had renamed itself as it sailed out of the Caribbean into the Atlantic, renamed itself Marinera, changed its flag from Guyana to Russia. Russia then, yesterday, we understand, scrambled Russian Navy ships plus a Russian attack sub to meet the Bella, now called Marinera, and take control of it and protect it. However, the U.S. military for the past 3 days has been prepping in the UK and Europe. It was believed to assist Israel in a hit on Iran and possibly to engage in Greenland. It's now come out this morning. It was also to put assets close enough for the U.S. military then to maintain the embargo and seize the 16 ships that had run the embargo in the Caribbean, beginning with the Bella, now named Marinera, that had reflagged itself as a Russian ship. I can confirm and report in the last hour the U.S. military has seized the Bella. So that's going on. And they seized it in the North Atlantic Ocean right about here. And we understand Russia is also sending ships and an attack sub in this area. And the U.S. Special Forces seized the Bella, changed its course, and it's now en route to a port in Ireland. And the Bella had been being shadowed by U.S. Coast Guard ship the Monroe plus other U.S. military ships. The U.S. military special forces within the last hour boarded the Bella, took control of it, and changed its course. It's now en route to Ireland. We had yesterday, January 6, Russia sending out Navy ships and an attack sub to take control of the Bella and to protect it. Reported today on a Russian news outlet, RT, stated that the U.S. military Night Stalkers, Special Forces, have taken control of the Bella, and that the Bella is now under U.S. military control, who have changed its course and is heading it toward Ireland. Now, it's unknown what is the current location of the Russian Navy ships or the Russian attack sub. It is also unknown what is the Russian intent. And we have an intel update in the last half hour that the U.S. Coast Guard puts forth that the Bella is empty of oil. As I put out in my previous video, we had sources saying the U.S. military planned to take control of the Bella and may sink it as it was empty. We now have a statement from the U.S. military European Command that the U.S. military has seized the Bella, which is linked to Russia and Iran. We have now public statements being put out in the U.S. by the U.S. Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and the U.S. War Department that the U.S. military has seized the Bella that had run the U.S. military embargo. The U.S. military seized the Bella in the North Atlantic, and for this reason, that the Bella had violated U.S. sanctions, and a warrant in U.S. court has been issued to seize the Bella, which was being shadowed by the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Monroe plus other U.S. military ships. This is being done per President Trump, involving the U.S. sanctions. And we have this, Iran today. Iran warns the U.S. and Israel and makes a threat of a preemptive strike on Israel. Iran did this via today, a public statement by its Supreme National Defense Council. And we have Hal Turner's analysis is that the U.S. plans to first neutralize Iran before the U.S. hits China. And we know, and I've been consistent in putting out, that the U.S. number one enemy in the world is China. We have this from Daily Mail, that the U.S. does plan to take Greenland, and it's believed that this U.S. military asset transfer for the past 2 to 3 days into the U.K. and into Ramstein base in Germany has multiple applications. We see one now coming out being to seize the sanctioned oil tankers that have tried to run the U.S. military embargo, beginning with the Bella that had reflagged itself as belonging to Russia, and we see Russia scrambling Russian military assets to also take control of the Bella. Well, the U.S. has already seized it and has changed its course, heading it into Ireland. So the U.S. military has put all these military assets, it's believed, multiple purposes. One is to take control of those ships that ran the U.S. military embargo. One is to hit Iran. And possibly one is to take Greenland by force. The U.S. military is President Trump is continuing to negotiate with Denmark to buy Greenland. And barring that, the U.S. military, we see, is now positioned to do what President Trump also has on the table, and that is to take Greenland by military force. So it's good to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.